cut. We lost our light.
No, start. We're live. I was.
Oh, we're live. Oh, cool, great.
Shout out Joe Rogan too. I know you hate the dude.
No, I don't hate.
I
Oh
fuck
my
with Joe
God,
Rogan.
no, I don't.
Joe Rogan.
I don't hate him. He was an announcer in what, UFC? Which is great, and God bless him for it.
But everybody was somebody before they were somebody. Just like whoever your doctor is that checks your balls, right? He played basketball for USC or something like.
So before he played with my balls, he played with like much larger balls.
Exactly.
And he
Bouncy
bounced
balls.
it. Oh no. No, it's like I'm fine. Thanks very much. I'll pull my pants up. So
Welcome
good.
back. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh my God, it's been it's been a while, right?
For you, maybe.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm a busy man. I got a hell of shit that I do on a daily basis, so it seemed like it was just yesterday to me. Even though it might have been a plethora of time.
Well, about a plethora. It was still longer than usual. Oh, definitely. But I mean, it's not like I'm not like upset. It's just an observation. It's just been a while because of circumstance and stuff,
Factual information.
It's not like we do it for a living.
Right. I mean,
this isn't the Jesus and more where they get paid big money.
If we were doing it for a living, it'd be a goddamn like at 6 p.m. on Saturday
right.
Right. This is definitely for fun.
No.
Definitely for fun.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be like, Mr. Brown, you're late for the shoot, and we've got a whole crew standing by. Not just me and you, man.
100%. Welcome to the show, though. Before we carry on too much.
Yeah. Have you been away? No. Have you been away since we did the show?
Yeah, I went to Oahu.
You did, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, okay. So that adds to my time sense. Do you know what I mean? Not yours necessarily, but because you were away. Oh, that was a long time ago.
Right.
Was it last week?
Yesterday. Well,
no, stop.
2 days ago. Yeah, I came back. I left on Saturday and I came back Sunday or Monday. Is today Tuesday? I came back Sunday.
Today's Tuesday.
Did I come back Sunday?
So it's just this past weekend.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But, hey, I mean, tell them what we do here. For the first people that just started on. This is their first time.
Thank you for dropping it in my lap.
I had to.
Yeah, no, thank you. I really appreciate it. For those of you who haven't seen us before, basically it's a pretty impromptu conversation between two guys who seemingly look quite different, who really get along, and we're really good friends, and it's incredibly entertaining. The time warp between us is hysterical. I can mention
he's from the fucking prehistoric era, and I'm from I'm a millennial.
You're still in your fucking diaper shitting yourself. So, but it really, and then again, because you want me to, so that really is part of what makes it a little bit unusual that we really gel so well on a feeling basis. No. But in terms of experientially.
Experientially,
yeah.
I don't think I've ever used that word in that way.
Me neither.
Good shit.
We're really, we're quite different. So it's really fun to see how we come together from these seemingly different places. How was that? Was that good?
It was drawn out and great. I'll just play it. Hey, we appreciate y'all. He definitely just gave a great, preface or intro or biography of what we do, and we love what we do. And if it's your first time watching this show, you need to go ahead and watch a bunch of other ones and give us a like, a share, and a subscribe, because we're here and we're here to stay, and we're gonna keep bringing you content every week, hopefully every week. Sometimes things happen. One of those things was that last week I forgot to bring us in with the yo. Oh, yeah. What's up? It's your boy Foster and
Feinstein.
That's how we intro all of our shows, and I think I missed out on that.
Yeah, because we had a guest.
Yeah.
Which, for any number of reasons, we're not have. Oh no, we're not. He's not doing. We're not going to have a guest this time, but we will likely the next time. And it was great. I really enjoyed. I really did. I thought it.
Great question. Thought-provoking.
Yeah, it worked really well.
It did. You tried to shy away a little bit. I was going to get on you about that, but you ended up coming around full circle and knocking it out the park. I thought you were going to say like, You know, I don't have an answer. I thought you were really going to stick to that, but I like that you came around and you played ball.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm.
What you want to talk about?
Oh God, I don't know. For the first time in my experience, I've had to deal with COVID, not because I got it, but somebody at the brewery.
Right.
I mean, you know the whole story, but
Right.
somebody in the brewery. I mean, finally, somebody got COVID of all of the people who kind of go through the place.
In and out, in and out.
So it was on a given day when I was like right next to the guy, working with him. And so were a lot of other people.
That's another reason why it's taking such a long time in between our
Yeah,
shows.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, first of all, COVID is like, it's the gift that keeps on giving, man.
That it really is. It should be. I mean, it really should be the basis of this conversation that we have because it created so much change in our lives, and we had to pivot. And so, I mean, we should probably base this show about like pivot and change because we're all doing it. Everybody. I know I went to a couple places and they asked for a vaccination card and I didn't have
really?
one and they wouldn't let me in. Yeah.
On
And then
Oahu?
Yeah, and I went to another
yeah,
place and
yeah.
they let me in. So it's all about changing and adapting and pivoting in these times. 'Cause
Yeah.
shit changes on a daily basis. It might be a new fucking variant out tomorrow, man. And you catch it by farting.
Pardon me? Oh God, that felt good.
Whoa, brother.
No. Man, it's really. It's just that for the past couple of years have been turned completely and totally upside down.
Unprecedented, for sure.
If you're not into change of any kind, you have just had a hell of a fucking time the past couple of years.
Right.
Because it seems like everything, it's like, oh yeah, no, we could, because it's always, oh, I know, and then I'll get back to the brewery. Before the recent go-around, people would engage in conversation, and I started saying, and then I would do it in a joke, everything that I seem to be saying now is always prefaced by, under the circumstances.
Right.
Right. I mean,
During
if you think
these
about
times,
right?
Yeah.
Because be like, well, I went to Oahu. Oh, where did you go? Well, I couldn't get into some places.
Right.
Well, under the circumstances,
Right.
man,
Right.
it's
almost like it seems like we went backwards a little bit in a sense of like prejudices. Not saying that it's right or wrong, but we are eventually going to see a place where we prejudice against one type of people for their decisions that they're making.
Oh no, but I mean, we do. I mean, it's not even here. It's so here that it's even behind us.
Yeah.
Oh my
Labels
God.
and all that other shit.
Oh my
like it's
God, it's been awful, and it's not good. Doing the pod thing. Did I do this story or is it coming up? Civil War. Oh no, I think I did it. There was a legitimate survey done by an outfit called Zogby. They're very credible, and 46% of the people interviewed believed that there was a distinct possibility there would be civil war in this country. That is nearly half of the people in this civil war. Not like we're gonna get pissed off at each other. I mean, civil war.
Well, I mean, you got to think. I can see that happening too, because it gets to a point where a certain demographic of people are going to get tired of being told you can't do something because you didn't do this, or you can't come here because you didn't sign up here. It's like, I can see that. I literally can see that. I don't want it. Because I know a lot of people aren't ready for civil war. A lot of people aren't ready for war, period, let alone war against your fellow kind.
Well, I look at some things and I can't believe that more people, aren't like really, really freaked out. And it's like everybody's on Quaaludes of some kind. Because and I'll tell you I can't even believe voting rights.
All right.
Okay. It's blowing my mind what's going on with voting rights in this country, and I'm looking at this. I'm not. Can I be the only one that's really pissed off about it? I know I'm.
Right.
I know I'm not. But holy fuck! It's a calculated plan on the part of they happen to be in the Republican Party. That's just how it goes. They're taking over areas within state governments, like something called Secretary of State within the state. Mm-hmm. It's very powerful locally. So they're basically taking over 15 states. and they're basically controlling the vote.
Okay.
But controlling it, not like they're controlling the vote, and the vote will be, it'll be Republican, it'll be conservative, it'll be white, it will be Christian, and there's a distinct possibility that that will end up, at least in the near term, being a majority rule. So, Trump was not...
Well, I would think that being the case is a scary thought, but it's also deeming the thing that we need change immediately, not in the sense of putting a Democrat in office instead of a Republican. I mean changing the whole system, like revamping the whole system, changing all the structures of the system, changing the politicals.
I agree, and the way that happens is when enough people get really pissed off. They don't get... It's not necessarily violent in the literal sense.
But history tells us violence has ensued to make all the things in the past.
There have been very, very limited exceptions, and certainly Gandhi comes to mind. He kicked some serious ass in India.
Yeah,
he fucking did, because he held to it, man. Yeah. He just held to it. Yeah. You're not going to make me violent.
Right. No, right.
And that's like, I don't know how deep Dr. King was, into that. I'm not about to. I mean, I guess I would take him at his word. I mean,
I looked into some stuff. He had a bunch of guns.
You sent me that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself,
it was more political. The reason he said he was nonviolent.
Oh yeah, no, I think that was on a bigger picture. But the fact of the matter is, it would apply. I am totally fucking opposed to violence.
Right.
But if I was in a position where my family could physically be threatened in my home, I'm packing, baby.
No, facts,
and I'm not in. Boy, I am so far from that shit. But
I agree wholeheartedly on there.
So when you sent it to me, it was like I know that it was somehow meant to be shocking, not by you, but in its presentation. Do you know what Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He had like shit in the house. I don't know if he packed when he was walking around. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. But to me, it didn't diminish in any way how his big conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not about just in my house. This is about like our house.
Right.
And in our house, violence, which has always been, look what we got. Violence has always been present. And, sometimes what happens, if you try something different shit can happen.
Yeah, but that's the only way you can get change.
So I do agree with you, though, that I've just never seen anything like it, and I don't simply think it's going to kind of like yawn itself away.
Right. I mean, I think I'm just understanding that the way we're going as a whole is not good. Like as a whole, the way we're going as a people, not even as a country, not even as a world, is this like the divide that's created by the uber elites, the uber wealthy, are trickling down into our everyday lives, down to the decision that we make. And it's like each person feels obligated to choose a side, like to be, there's nobody who can be on the fence anymore. There's nobody who can just watch both sides. It's like they're forcing you to be Democrat or Republican, forcing you to be vaxxed or unvaxxed. Like the changes are needed to understand that we're human first, and we need to get back to that. We're not there.
Here's the deal.
We're not there.
Here's the deal, man. What? We're being played.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we are,
like a bunch of dice.
We're on a living board game. Mm-hmm. Okay. With silly ass rules about go to jail and pass jail. And meanwhile, the guys who created the game and printed the money and all of that shit, oh my God, are they having a good time? Because we're just biting at each other's ankles.
Right.
And these motherfuckers, I mean, I told you, like in the podcast, Rolls-Royce sold more cars than they ever have last year in their 117 years, man. That they sold the most, and Bentley was like 30%. And it's like, what do you need?
But that's the thing. That's why, like, a lot of people are realizing that in order to make the change into yourself, you got to be financially stable. Because if you're not financially stable, not financially secure, you have to do what they say. But if you're financially secure, you're financially stable, you literally can carve your own lane through this world. You can fly your own planes, you can freaking charter your own jets, you can hire your own chefs. You don't need to go to a restaurant. Like, it's all about money, baby.
Well, then you're talking about, in a sense, being one of them.
Yeah, 1%, 1%ers.
And
it only takes about, what is it, $400,000 annually a year to become 1%, or is it 250,000?
Well, okay, here's the deal. In that regard, I would say that we have gotten to where we are because that has been the ideal, for certainly for this country. Then I wrote a thing. I wrote two things, but I wrote a thing.
I'm itching. You keep pausing.
No,
it's
stop.
like mosquitoes trying to get me.
Oh, I wrote a thing the last time about taking an imaginary trip on a rocket with me.
Okay.
Okay. And you're way up looking down on Earth. Okay. And you have the ability from all the way up there to like view the entire history of how things were on the planet, how that began. Okay. And you get to see, since we arrived, and that keeps changing, it's somewhere around 300,000 years ago that we arrived, but we're talking about like several, billions of years. You just go to look at the whole arc of that, and then you look at how over the past 300,000 years we have behaved and how we have treated each other and what we have done to each other. And you will see that over time we do it again and again and again. And what they also have in common is each one that came along in this progression that we're simply a part of, they have thought they had it right and they knew what to do. And I'll be damned, they do the same damn thing that every dominant society has done before. But it's from forever.
Right.
So to me, and then I'll be quiet, the idea that things are going to change is ridiculous.
Right.
It ain't happening.
But that leads me to my point is that it has to change, right, if we want anything different. But if we don't want anything different, you have to adjust and adapt and pivot to the way that the things are. And the way that things are is that capitalism rules the world. The way that things are that the wealthy make all the rules. Like you don't think that all of those Republican-led politicians that you're speaking of that are going to take over the Senate and the House, you don't think that they're pushed and backed by big lobbyists, big money, big pharma, big tech, big tobacco, big oil?
Listen, here's the deal,
So
man.
it doesn't matter who they are. It's the money.
You can make all the money that you feel like making. It all depends then what you do with it.
Facts.
And how you feel about it and how you carry yourself.
Gaia.
What's Gaia doing?
She go throw up. She just keep eating the grass.
So because it's always been something to aspire to, again, over that whole arc, to be like one of them.
Right.
So it doesn't do the world any good to have more of them. How can it be done, differently, but really just in your world, because you will not change the arc of time.
That's true.
I'm seriously, man.
That's true.
Climate change, it's going to happen. The seas are going to, all of that shit. We will survive.
Yeah.
In smaller numbers. Okay. And definitely the ones who have more bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
More resources.
All right.
Not even just.
They're in a much better position.
Right.
But there are so many of the rest of us that have, plenty of opportunity. And my thing was, is, and always will be, it's really about who you are, your heart, the kind of person you are.
No, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
You know that.
I agree.
And how you treat people.
But you got to think though too. Is take this scenario out. You got these tech kids, right? 18 years old, 17 years old. Their whole life they've been bullied by the alphas or like the sports jocks.
Yeah, guys like me.
Right, guys like Larry. And then now they figure out how to get financially secure in this new tech world, and now they're rich beyond measure,
Right.
they're going to go back and they're going to shit on all those people that treated them bad at a certain age because of how they were treated. So that good heart they had to work hard and do all of this is now look at that as revenge and avenging the past,
First of all, I would say
hacking people's accounts and shit like that.
I would say you show me a dramatic difference in how we have been treating each other over the millennia, you know, I'll fart perfume. Cologne, expensive cologne. That's the thing. I honestly, man.
It needs to happen, though. I mean,
You don't.
we need to change.
It won't. It never has. We're talking hundreds of thousands of years.
I know.
It's purely ego
I know.
that you would think somehow you're going to change. Like you're going to be out in a fucking rowboat in a tsunami.
But we talked
and,
about
you
that.
know,
We talked about that before. Is the ego is needed in order to even like facilitate any type of change.
Well, ego
like
in
every
the sense
great
of
every great person had a big ego.
I don't know, but ego. They had a good sense of self.
Right.
So.
Right. But that's ego.
Well, yes, but the only danger is, of course, when we talked about it, ego is a word like
Self-consuming.
selfish. Is
Yeah.
like selfish. There's somehow it has a negative connotation about it to a lot of people.
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, he had a big fucking ego.
does.
So
does.
it's how you how you use the word. But being centered, having a good sense of self, I mean that's really the shit you have any control over.
See, for me personally, 'cause talking about the personal side of things and like me as an individual, I'm not necessarily looking to have all of this money or this wealth in order to like, you know, purchase things. It's more so for freedom. It's more so for motherfucker to not have to call me, ask me for anything, or like tell me I gotta be somewhere at a certain time. Like none of that matters when you're self-sufficient. When you're living on your 10-acre farm.
Is it millions or billions? And if you start getting up into the billion range, then you're just like Zuckerberg.
Not necessarily. You could be a billionaire and be a good person.
Well, are you
you
giving back?
100%.
Well, that's different.
100%. But Zuckerberg might be giving back. You're not looking at his financial statements.
I'm not going. Boy, am I not. I ain't going there with a guy that's got like I don't know. He's worth $95 billion and he's giving away millions. Kiss my ass.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's
I don't.
You can't put yourself in those people's shoes to count their pockets to see how they're supposedly doing things. It shouldn't be the case that he has to make that much money, but the laws are stated. They allow that to happen because of the way capitalism works. But I feel like there should be a cap on how much everybody should make. I feel like $1 billion is enough for each human.
Well,
Like,
again,
that's
you know,
90 billion. That's too much.
But again, it'll never. You know, it ain't ever gonna. It's not. It's simply not gonna happen.
Yep. It'll take the 99% to revolt, to uprise, to change, like to not storm the Capitol in the way that they did, but like actually storm the world collectively. But nobody's coming together like that. Why can't we come together?
No,
people?
I'm.
Why can't we come together?
It's very easy for me to get whacked as being like a very a negative personality.
You do have a lot of negative
well, I would say it's. I would say it's realism. No, it's not. You know,
but
negativity.
but I think I said it last when the show with Ciro, is that there's two sides to everything. Like there's factual information that's super negative, and there's factual information that's super positive. It's the yin yang.
Yeah, but
it's just where you look.
But I still to agree. You know, 1 + 1 = 2.
You'll never find a centipede in the clouds.
Well, no, but I mean that. So I mean, it's not like everything isn't. I mean, some things have like that. That's it.
Right, but I'm saying if that's the thing that you're focused on, like if you have the blinders on, like the shit I'm telling you, whenever I ask you about certain topics or something like that, there are certain times where you're just like, yeah, I don't want to hear that. Like,
well, it's not because I don't believe it. I don't want to. It's not a world that I really want to enter.
Right.
You know, one that's filled with all sorts of conflict, and very often I wonder if it's really for the people who are putting it out, if it's for the purpose of conflict. Because it gets eyeballs.
Right.
It's why Facebook does a lot of the bad shit that it does.
Yeah.
Okay, because it gets eyeballs. Then that they get money.
Right.
So I have made the choices of what I do personally, and I'm really not into like. I don't know. I'm fine. Doesn't mean like I'm a happy idiot.
I don't know that, but I like to find balance. I like to find the shit that's like wow, this is fucking amazing. Like we've discovered something that's gonna change the way the world like goes forever. Just like these kids that are making millions of dollars off NFTs. I just dropped the NFT podcast this morning. Check it out, Focus Energy on all streaming platforms. But it's showing that literally a kid had the investment of like $300, held this NFT for 6 months and sold it for $2.2 million.
Right.
That changes that kid's whole life.
Right.
And it's happening a lot of times that it's not really been spoken about because it's like, who the fuck is looking that up? Who cares about that? But there's also world poverty, there's world hunger, there's people who are super in need of, change in their life and they're not getting it. But then there's some people that are getting the super change. There's some people that are like, parents are saved. There's people who had like cancer and they got money out of nowhere and their cancer treatment is paid for by a stranger. And
they're all great and they're all small stories.
They're small, yeah.
Okay, which is great. I got nothing. I'm all about, in a sense, I'm all about small.
Mm-hmm.
But the more you step back, and the bigger the story becomes, to me, the clearer it becomes. And clear is history.
Right.
Not the future. I have no freaking idea.
Right.
I got enough trouble with the present. Man, are they having are they
Yeah,
going, holy shit.
He's gonna hurt himself with that big ass stick.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I think of everything as perspective. It's like, it's not that the things that you talk about are negative, they're factual, but it is in a darker sense of
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's other podcasts out there who are probably only talking about the lighter things in life.
No, I know.
Like the fluffy
so
shit.
when I do the podcast and I oh my God, I read stuff today. I'm not doing it on climate issues
Right.
that I read about.
Right.
It's not whacked out. I mean,
No,
it's
not.
it's really bad.
Dude, I did a 10-page essay on ocean acidification in
You
one
did?
of my college classes.
Uh-huh.
Because they were showing like how fucked up the reefs are being because of like.
And how long ago
carbon
was this?
This was like 7 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah, this is like 7 years ago, and they're talking about elevated carbon levels in the oceans, sunscreen like poisons just going into there and killing all of the natural reefs. But then they also show after COVID, a lot of some of the reefs come back because everybody got locked down and everybody like there's no movement, there's no like bunch of ships and everything, and so I just always find like there's like the sliver of optimism in almost every story. It doesn't matter.
But again,
big,
always
how big.
always has been.
It
So
always has
there's
been.
nothing new.
Right.
In terms of humanity, there's absolutely nothing new, which isn't bad.
No.
But it's like, oh my God! So if that is the case, take a look.
Right.
Take a look at what we did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's wrap it up and just let these guys have a break. I know you probably got an earful, but change, man, it's inevitable. We hope that everybody understands that you have to be able to adapt and you got to be able to pivot. But if we keep going the way we've been going, like in the past, the world, the universe, the planet is going to change us for us.
A past is prologue, baby. So that's a given. But just a quickie on my pal the Buddha, very quick, in terms of change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as he was concerned, and man, it really resonated with me. And and it's been done in quantum physics. There is really nothing permanent. The change occurs so quickly.
Yeah.
It's not nanoseconds.
Yeah.
So we to a certain degree we live with the falsehood of like the enduring like self.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
Right.
Everything is changing
Yeah.
so fast.
You can change a water molecule by just singing
I
to
know.
it. Yeah.
So change is incredible. So the thing really is just Jesus Christ, keep a pretty loose grip on things because you got to let them slip through your fingers.
True.
Or else it'll break your hand.
Yeah.
So change isn't good or bad. It's as you said, facts.
It's facts. Well, hey, I appreciate all of you guys for watching. If you stayed to the end, we appreciate you so much more because we're glad that you listened to what we have to say.
Yeah, this
And,
was cool,
it
man.
was cool.
I felt really animated.
Yeah, if you enjoyed yourself and you haven't already, please like, please share, and please subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps us out. We're almost at 1,000. We hopefully we get there by the end of this episode
Yeah, that would be
when
nice.
this one is aired.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But anything else you got for the people?
Yeah, even his are in the laundry.
Oh I'm sorry, I have mine.
No, that's
getting
okay.
washed.
So these are really cool T-shirts.
Yeah.
They
Link will be in the bio.
Yeah, the link will be in the bio.
Mm-hmm.
We've mentioned it before. We make no money, so it's like it's a fun shirt.
Yeah. Represent.
Yeah, and if it gets more people watching us, you know, makes me really happy because you know I like the company, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. So.
All right. Well, that's Foster and Feinstein, and we're over and out, man. Peace and love.
Oh shit! No, I always say that.
Oh, I know.
I'm doing
I
it
stole
anyhow.
it.
Peace and love. God bless.